happening, everyone? I'm back. Shout out to Satoshi, rolling those dice, rolling those Bitcoin. I'm back because Richard Hart tweeted. And when he tweets these days, at least, it tends to be special every once in a while. I almost missed the days of outrage marketing. I kind of, because I use his pictures for a lot of thumbnails and stuff. And I'm like, I almost need some new pictures. I think I just need to do some more research. I need to dig back and get some more of the fun shots and product stuff. I never thought I'd say I missed outrage marketing where he was taking new pictures every day for a while. Pretty cray. But yeah, if you missed me on a coffee show last night, that was a really fun time. Went over a lot of PulseChain stuff there. So for this, if you've been to RHMax before, it's everything. Ask me anything about Richard. Or the products, ideals, Scivive, whatever you want to talk about. Today, I just had a few things to go over with the updates with PulseChain that I saw from him, also in the Telegram channel for Hex News. I noticed he tweeted them, so that was cool. So I can just pull up the tweet. But I will jump right into it. And again, have any questions? So when we talk about something, whatever, throw it in the chat. And this will be pretty short, probably 30 minutes or so. I'll just plan on streaming just to go over a few things. Let me share my screen. So I'm going to start from, let's see, recent, this is January 25th. Let's go from, I guess 9 hours ago. Okay, so he didn't post the, there's another one. So there's in the X News Telegram channel, there's also a picture of the block explorer. Oh no, he added it into the thread. Gotcha. Okay, awesome. So say if I have to pull it up separately, I can, but so it looks like less than 1 million blocks to go on stage. They're still on stage 7. It's been days on stage 7. So Geth, EBS blocks are done. Prism flags, configuration are done. Nice. So translation. Stage 7 is almost done. Less than 1 million blocks. He makes it sound good, at least. I don't know how many total blocks there are, but less than 1 million blocks to go. And Geth, EBS, he keeps saying Geth, but I don't know if we're calling it GPLS now, since we're forking Go ETH, Go Ethereum, which includes Geth, and that's Go Pulse, as far as I know. I think Geth is just, the common word, but I think the client's probably going to be GPLS, I would imagine. But yeah, we'll see. Geth EBS snapshots are done. Okay, that's a good one. So if he's saying actually EBS snapshots, so let's Google for that, because that is a cloud deal. So of course, if you have been following, they definitely looks like the nodes, at least for testnet, maybe mainnet too, but at least for testnet, are launching in Amazon's cloud. EC2 is the compute services, S3 is a storage service, and you have the EBS, which let's see, you can do snapshots. There's other services. I mean, Amazon has like 100 different cloud services you can use for different stuff. So EBS used to create a backup, critical workloads, large database file systems. It's good for scaling data and snapshots. And what is a snapshot? So kind of like, well, if you haven't used a virtual machine, it's hard to explain too, but basically think of it, I guess a blockchain snapshot too is kind of like that, except in a fork, a snapshot, it's just a picture in time of whatever it is. So it could be a database, could be a file system of a server, maybe it could be a blockchain, all that. So EBS snapshots, and then I don't know why I said Geth EBS. Okay, so I guess the blockchain, the execution client Geth, the blockchain data that it's syncing, they're using EBS snapshots for that. So, okay, that's cool. That makes sense. Prism flags, configuration done. Awesome. Prism is a consensus client. One of the consensus clients that PulseChain is going to support. Flags are done. Configuration done. Okay, looks like progress. Here's a screenshot. You can see all that stuff. And then I'll get to questions in the chat just a second. And then let's see the next tweet. Block Explorer integration testing. new indexing backend and contract verification infrastructure. So blockchain integration. So before, the screenshot we saw looked very much like a fork of Beacon chain. So let's do Beacon chain. Let's see how much. So is this a different one or is this a fork 2? Because I see the interface looks pretty similar, but different stuff going on. I see the epochs, I see the blocks. Maybe this is a different view too, because I know, let's see, I'll show you the, I'll go over to the previous screenshot he showed of the Beacon Explorer. Well, it's not on here. Or it's in a thread as well. Let's see. It's not on that one. Yeah, I love how all of a sudden Richard wants to talk about dev stuff at the PulseChain conference. He did not want to talk about that. Maybe it's on this one. Yeah, I don't know where it is. Maybe it was just on the Hex News Telegram. But before, it looked very, very similar to this. I mean, just basically just a fork. I mean, it looked like. But this is looking a little different. So I'm not sure if it's a different view of it or they just made a bunch of changes and they're showing different stuff. That could be it. I don't know why they would fork 2 different Beacon or block explorers. So I'm not sure on that. Interesting. I'm going to guess it's still part of the same fork, but a different view. But I'm not 100% sure on that. Cool. And then on this one, let's see, I'll go through new indexing backend and contract verification infrastructure. Contract verification infrastructure. I'm not sure how to interpret that one. He's very, very short on this one with details. New indexing backend. So they're indexing something on the backend. Backend could be the clients, could be pulling out the blockchain data, it could be building an index of some data source. Maybe the blockchain explorer that's part of that. So he's talking about the block explorer is indexing, so it can be faster and quickly find things on the UI. Probably part of that. So this new indexing backend and contract verification infrastructure sounds like block explorer stuff set up. So cool. And so those are the, okay. So on the apps part, I think that's the apps drop down. Testnet v3 Beacon Explorer. Okay. Well, maybe this is different because if they're doing 2 different ones, or maybe this is just a shortcut for the same, I'm not sure. Anyways, I'm not sure, so I'll skip that one. PulseX, cool. It's got a link for that. Still V2, he mentioned the other day. I'll go over the updates from the stream as well. That I talked a little bit on Coffee's stream, but he has said PulseX is going to be V2. So I know a lot of people like V3. I think there's advantages and disadvantages overall for Ethereum, at least. V3 sounds like the best way to go. Seems like it wasn't a regression from the Uniswap people. And me and Sam Stoller talked about that a lot too. We had a whole conversation. It's fantastic. If you look at the liquidity providing, RHMax liquidity providing, that was the first one. Second one was me and Sloth. First one was with Stoic, Sam Stoller and me. We talked about it, whether he would fork it. And I just don't think, I speculate Richard just doesn't want to delay things any further. And there are some points he thinks that Pumpamentals could be favor V2 in our particular ecosystem with the pairs that we trade on. Details TBD, but there could be, again, Richard's playing 4D chess. So I'm sure there's things we don't know and can't reason about because he's got in his back pocket. He's got to figure it out. Pulse Ramp Bridge. So there's a bridge named Pulse Ramp. We've known about that from the previous screenshots as well. Sacrifice Checker. Awesome. Testnet V3 faucets. That's cool. That's a new thing I don't think we shared screenshots on before. A faucet so you can get TPLS, at least, maybe other coins to play around with. So you can do transactions, maybe do certain features, maybe kind of validator. Maybe, I don't know how much deposit it's going to give you, but to be a validator, maybe, that's actually something we may learn too when testnet v3 launches. What will be the validator numbers? What will be the amount you need? Will it be 1 million times 30 ETH? Or will it be something else? That's something that we aren't 100% sure about, that we will know in v3, hopefully. So it's awesome. Transactions happening. 2 days ago, transactions were happening. So they've been testing it. They've been working on it. They're doing dev stuff. So with that, I will, before I go to the chat, I do want to talk about just what I learned on the stream, just for a minute. So if you didn't watch me on Coffee last night, he did mention we're closer to the end than the beginning of the bear market. That's what Richard Hart said. So that is, I think that's good news, if anything. If you want to believe in that this brutal bear market, maybe we're through the worst of it, and that could even, you could even interpret that as us bottoming. Maybe he thinks we've bottomed, because if we're closer to the end than the beginning, and the middle is the bottom, assuming middle is bottom, take that for what you will. And then it definitely seems like the clients are done, at least for the most part, because the code is running. So again, if you define done as the code is running, because you can't sync the blockchain, which is what we're doing now, as what we just talked about. You can't sync the blockchain unless the clients are running. So the code seems to be done, or working at least. I'll say that. And what do you do when you're syncing the blockchain? Usually you're preparing for deployment. You're getting ready to launch and all that stuff, usually. Hopefully I get Dipcatcher on here sometime to talk about the integer slots. You know what? I'm going to send them, just in case you can hop on, I'm going to send them a link real quick. I can't quite explain. I don't have enough information or blockchain background to explain the slots integer expansion. Richard said it 15 different times issue, but I've talked about it a little bit with Dipcatcher on the coding AMA. Maybe he has some more thoughts on it too, but I'll send him a link just in case he wants to hop on. Let me. Send him a link just in case he's around and wants to hang out. Don't expect anything, but cool guy, that guy. So what I was talking about, yeah, he knows more about the integer slot supply issue. We've talked about it a little bit before. And then, yeah, he keeps mentioning Geth. I think that'll be GPLS, I imagine. And those were going to be the primary clients for the launch, but they forked the Block Explorer, I think the beacon chain that I've been talking about, which uses Aragon and Lighthouse, which are the two other clients which support, two other options. So they had to support all 4 clients and do the work to fork all of them instead of just 2 before. So that could have caused some of the delay in the testnet as well, because they had to support all the clients because they wanted to use the Block Explorer that they forked. And then they just finished the expansion slot stuff. They worked on that issue, solved that for Aragon and Lighthouse. So he said that. So maybe they're still working on it for Prism and Geth. You did mention that. And then he said probably launch V3. When he left the door open for mainnet, which I thought was a little interesting. I don't know why. I wouldn't want to. As much as I want PulseChain to launch, I think we need a testnet first. This is a completely new thing. I even said before, quick test net V4 after we work the bugs out in this one, if there are any. I think that would be good as far as the dev process goes. So I'd be extremely surprised if we went to mainnet. I would not expect that at all. And I wouldn't think that would be a good thing. Honestly, I think we need a test net. We want the thing to work. That's my opinion. And then he said weeks. And then he mentioned 3 weeks. Could be next week's. So who knows? I mean, he said 6 months for PulseChain. Out of his butt answer. We're at 22 months now. So you can time everything by the old math. You can times everything times 4, times 3, times 4. So that could be 3 or 4 to 11 or 12 weeks, something like that. I don't know. February, March are in play based on a generous interpretation. I don't think it'll be hours or days though, but I don't know. Nobody knows. Those are the highlights. I talked about he did say PulseX V2 fork. He's not changed the tone on that for a while. And again, maybe V2 has some fundamentals with specific to our ecosystem. That would be great. So we'll trust him with that one. I'm not a PulseChain dev. I'm just a guy who can read and chew bubblegum at the same time. So that's what I'm trying to bring you, that kind of information. All right. Now that I've finished my monologue deal, I'll go to the chat. And before I do, give me 1 second. Richard's been giving a lot of updates lately. So that is kind of bullish on the time frame. If he's been giving updates every day or every other day or every few days, then it doesn't mean it's not a signal it'll take longer. I'll say that. Okay. So what's up, Crypto Truth? Good to see you, man. Godfather J6, what's up, man? Good to see you as well. Just going to go scroll to the top. Addy, welcome, Addy. They finally caught you live from the OK cancel. Oh, why the pump now? Pump. Is there a hex pump going on? Let's see. Ooh, there is. Interesting. There is. Well, people are excited. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it's finally starting to kick in. I think we went up a little bit since the PulseChain testnet talk. Maybe the people with dry powder are starting to realize that a lot of people, Coffee said it last night on stream. He said that he believes, and he's not in the minority here, that Hex is going to do some amazing things leading up to PulseChain launch. So it's just a fact. It's just a question of when people are going to enter, when they think it's bottom, when they think it's not going to go down more. They want to get the best price. They want to have faith that the thing is going to happen within a certain time frame. All that. So cool. Hope it stays that way. We hope Hex goes to the moon, don't we? We like Hex on moon. Charles Stark, welcome back, Charles. I remember you. I think question: would you even consider ratio trading PLSX for PLS? Or vice versa? Or are we skipping V3 right now? Yeah, I don't think we're skipping V3. It just doesn't make sense to me that we would. So I'm not an insider or anything. So I'm just going back on my intuition and all that. I think we need a V3, in my opinion, to make sure. I mean, we're not going to wait 22 months to launch something and have some stupid bug that could have been solved by another testnet, right? So I know Richard's a man, and whatever he decides, I'll live with. But I think V3 would just makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. And then consider ratio trading. I don't know. I just, I'm excited for the pre-bridge to be open, but at the same time, I don't know. It would have to be an awful good deal. It depends. There's a lot of factors. So how big of a bag is your PLS? Do you have a bag of PLS? How big of your bag is PLSX? Do you have a bag of PLSX? How much hex do you have? How much hex do you have of liquid? We almost need a calculator to determine. Yeah, maybe Sloth will write this. You look into hedron.com. There's a lot of calculators on there for hedron stuff. Maybe somebody will write a calculator that's like, type in your financial information, and then it'll tell you, type in the current price, or it'll just pull it down and tell you. I don't think any of that's even going to be in place, not publicly, because the bridge is going to be pretty quick from what Richard said before, at least. So I don't know. I don't think you're going to miss much by skipping the bridge and just being a spectator. You got to really know what you're doing to profit from it. So for me, hard to say. I don't think there'll be any big trades. I don't think I'm going to trade all of something for another all of something, or I wouldn't say anything like that. I'll have to see the scenarios and what's presented. So it's going to be exciting, though. I'll say that. There'll be a lot of people participating. I'm not sure I'll be one of them. I'll definitely be watching. Peter Gerd, they won't do a full release until May or later. Well, that's I don't know what that's based on. Talk about only thing that rings a bell for May is, well, the two things. Mid-May, which Richard said last year, could have been talking about 2023. That's the joke. And then May is also, I believe, when the Uniswap V3 license becomes available. Richard's just click the next message, Max. Yeah, everything I've heard is he has not talked about wanting to use V3. So maybe he does, but everything he said, he keeps confirming he's okay with V2. So I'll leave it at that. All right, are you just looking forward to playing on the PulseChain network? Yeah, I'm looking forward to even more than before playing with this testnet, because the last testnet, I didn't set up a validator. I didn't play with it very much. But this one, I want to set up. I'm actually in the middle. Need to spend some more time on it. Seems like I only have time for this on the weekends, but spend some more time setting up the Ethereum testnet validator and having all the documentation, having all that stuff good to go, because it's super similar, of course, to PulseChain validator. And then when testnet v3 is out, PulseChain validator is here, I'm good to go. Just got to switch the names over, switch some commands, but I'll have some, hopefully be able to release some dev scripts that'll just help people set up validators, make it easier. I'll probably blog about it, do some AMAs. So I think I can provide some value there, but I need to finish my Ethereum testnet validator setup. And once I have that, then I'm just kind of waiting around for PulseChain testnet. Once it comes out, then I'm going to be, okay, let me just figure out how to convert my Ethereum knowledge and scripts and setup to PulseChain and share that with you all. I think that'd be fun. Okay, I'll just put it back over here in case people want to see this stuff. Travis Peak, RH is brilliant. 1 month till V3, then test V3. Launch mainnet when we're sure the bear market's over. Okay, let me think about this one. 1 month till V3. That sounds reasonable, not too crazy. Then test V3. And then take some time to test V3. So no, not determinate on that time, but take some time to test it. Seems reasonable. Launch mainnet when we're sure the bear market is over. I don't know about. I think we want to launch before it's over, right? Because I think there's pros and cons on both sides. Because if we launch in a bear market, we're probably going to have, just the way bear markets work, right? We may have more dips, which aka buying opportunities. We may have more time for accumulation. You're getting paid. Are you putting that money into crypto? Can you afford to? Can you afford to, to do DCA into PulseChain? I think there's advantages of launching in the bear market. People have talked about the bottom of the bear market too. I'm not sure if we're past or coming up on that, but yeah, not sure. I think the first two sound reasonable. Coin flip on the other one. I'm not sure that. Who knows? I keep thinking. I've only thought 2023 recently. After I see all these testnet screenshots and I see all the tweets and the dev outreach marketing stuff, I'm like, whoa, this seems like it may happen this year now. But I'm not, I'm not on team. It's launching 2 months. I'm not on that team. I can't quite put myself in that place. It's not really beneficial to, right? There's no benefit. I don't want to start making financial plans and all this stuff and then it not happen. That would be really, not going to feel very good. So I'd rather be pleasantly surprised than disappointed. I try to optimize towards that. Hey, if it happens, it happens. But before I was okay. In January, well, most of January, beginning of January, I was like, yeah, 2024. That's fine, 2024. But the last few weeks, we've had a lot of cool updates from Richard, which seem to think that it's possible that it won't be 2024, that it'll be this year sometime. Will it be May? Will it be September? Will it be interpretations of Richard's messaging in every single way until it comes out? Yes, there will be. Yes, we need testnet. Yes, I don't say that lightly. I think we need testnet. If I was one of the PulseChain devs, I would want testnet to happen because I don't want to be like, whoa, there's some bug we could have totally prevented if we just took it. It's already been 22 months. Take 23, whatever. Who cares? It's not like if it takes 6 more months on testnet, yeah, that's different than 1 to 2 months or so. So I'm sure they'll make the best decision. Exactly. Want to be flawless. That is the meme. That is the meme. If we get there, see you on the moon. Be awesome. More I think about V3 being private testnet for a minute, the more I wonder. What do you wonder about? The more I think about V3 being in private testnet for a minute now, I think V3 is going to be a public testnet. That's what it seems to be. It's what all the information is flowing to. I mean, who knows though? It's private, right? So we're not even supposed to know about private stuff unless they tell us. Let's see. It's a double pump. ETH and BTC are moving up. Oh, cool. Well, market's good. There's a DCC video. If you look at my recent videos, one about crypto market, crypto market. I can't remember. It's got DCC in it. That clip came out today, and I actually watched it myself because I was like, I remember what he was talking about. And he describes a situation where 2023 could have some good opportunities. So I thought that was interesting commentary, but who knows? None of us have a crystal ball. Got to remember that too. Yeah, I don't think we're done dipping, but there could be some ups and downs. We'll say that. Don't think we're done pumping. Don't think we're done dipping either. Not financial advice. V3 maybe in April, May. I hope sooner, but we'll see. I think we all hope sooner. Cool. Welcome aboard. A long day ago. Nice. Very poetic. I like it. Yeah. I try. That's what I try to do. Try to put out good content, provide value. Advice to new streamers out there. Try to provide value. Focus on that. What can you do to uniquely provide value that other people either can't do or are not willing to do? Can you stream and talk about interesting stuff to help people be more informed? You don't just want to. To me, I just don't want to stream just to talk to you. Just be like, oh, you can see me, and we're just going to talk about stuff, and I don't want to waste your time, right? So I want you to be informed, and I also don't want to mislead you. So I don't talk about predictions. I avoid, any of that stuff. I just talk about what we know, what I think, and play commentary and try to give you information about projects that I like. RH ecosystem, a lot of good ones in it. So it's not about the numbers. I don't monetize. Again, I know I'm like unique in that way. I don't monetize. I know that's making my growth slower, whatever. That's my principles. I'm not here to be the most popular streamer. I'm here to provide value and utility in the community. So if you see great content coming out, that's why, because I want it to. my goal, my mission is to provide great content and to stay informed myself. And it's a win-win. You can stay informed. I can stay informed. I can have guests on that educate me, educate you. You know, we can scale education. We can scale value through YouTube. It's great. And Twitter too, of course. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I try to keep my Twitter high quality as well. Peter Gard, will you still be able, a lot of good questions, Peter Gard, by the way. Thanks for coming. Will you still be able to run a node without 32 million pulse to support the network? Yeah, so interesting. So ETH 2.0 changed a lot of stuff. I think you can still run a node without being a validator. Don't quote me on that. And especially with Pulse, I mean, maybe Richard changed something too. But I do think you can just plug it in, or not just plug it in. I was saying about the box that Alex from Hedron may make. I think you can still run a node without collecting fees. But I think with ETH 2.0, you still have to run the clients. And there's different types of nodes too. Maybe I'm talking about a full node. When I say node, I'm usually talking about a full node, a validating node. So maybe with an archive node, for example, maybe you don't collect fees. Maybe there's certain nuances there. I'm just starting to set these nodes up. And of course, I'm going for validating because that's what I plan to do. I know things were a little bit different. I know with ETH 1, things were different. ETH 2, a lot of documentation is kind of scattered. So, but I think you can just run a node in certain modes. For example, I think it used to be able to just run the consensus or the execution clients if you want to run a node, just to keep a copy of the blockchain. And if you don't run the consensus clients, then you're not providing consensus help, you're not validating transactions, and you're not earning fees. I think that's still the case. Don't quote me on it, but I think you can just run execution clients, you know, do a node like that. And then if you want to be a validator, you got to run both execution and consensus. But I've just started a journey recently on testnet, still figuring stuff out myself. That is the truth. When it's ready, it will launch. Reply to we need testing. I'm saying alluded to 3 months ago. Yeah, I mean, that's maybe there's a private V3. There's definitely, well, just trying to give some nuance to this question. There's always, when devs are building stuff, they have to test it before they're actually wanting, like, we're getting these screenshots from them testing things. So what would you call the screenshots we're getting now? Would that be a private V3? Yeah, maybe. Because it's not public yet and it's not the finished product yet. So they're kind of all private test nets until they're released in a way. I'm trying to think of, instead of focusing on the wording, I'm trying to focus on like what something to make sense of that you can use. Sure. I mean, I would say the private V3 is what we're seeing screenshots of right now. You can think of it like that. That may be a useful way. And then the public V3 is what we're going to get when it comes out. There you go. And a month ago, maybe they had these, similar screenshots or less of them. Yeah, that's valid. Valid point, Master Kane. Well, Master Kane makes me think of Scary Movie 3, I believe. Scary Movie 2, when they go to the mansion. Hilarious. Love it. All right, everyone. If you get any more questions, put them in the chat. Because, again, I said this is going to be a short one. I'll just stay a couple more minutes and see if I can, anything else I wanted to cover here. Yeah, I don't see a lot of people FUDing as much anymore. Maybe the testnet news has calmed people down. Hex, Hex price is still down. People will probably continue to FUD it until it goes back up. But really, the people who FUD Hex, they don't have anything to lose, most of them, right? They're either faceless, low followers. maybe they're only halfway into Hex. They're into like 10 other coins. Fair weather hexagons, as some people like to say. You don't see Crypto Coffee like doing anything but like making incredible videos during the bear market because he's the #1 streamer, right, in the ecosystem. He obviously has skin in the game. And if he started making videos about Cardano or something, he's all in on that, then it wouldn't be the same. So, I think a lot of the FUD just comes from people who are upset for one reason or another, and they haven't bought in. I mean, literally, if you're FUDing RH ecosystem, like literally just bringing up stuff. So like, what is FUD? I would say it's not all FUD has to be lies either. It can be just an uncertain statement. It can be the continuation of asking questions that may have been answered, but there's a lot of nuance and not everyone can give a great answer to them. So you end up just creating the doubt and all that stuff with it too. So I don't know. I think generally try to put more positive, what you put out in the world, that's what you get back. So you put out positive stuff, you get positive stuff back. Nothing wrong with being skeptical, nothing wrong with constructive criticism. But there's a line, and let's say FUDders, they usually don't have a lot of skin in the game, or they don't have a lot to lose. So it's the incentives are aligned to be like, yeah, why not? I'm in these 20 other coins, so like I can bash X every once in a while, or I never really believed in Richard's mission, so I'm going to doubt whatever he's talking about today. Or PulseChain's never going to launch. I love that one. Except the most ridiculous one is PulseChain's never going to launch. Like Richard's just been like at Prada spending the money. It's just so many layers that don't make sense to that. It's hard to even think about. I had an idea for another stream, by the way, that I need to work on, but I think it'll be good. I want to talk about some coins in the ecosystem. I don't think I did a stream where I talked about, for example, maybe like my top 5 coins within the RH ecosystem. Hedron, Icosa. Talk about throw some Watts in there, Maximus, and some other popular ones. And I think that'd be fun. So maybe I'll do that in the stream coming up. But I got to do some more research. I really want to bring out some good points and good explanations and ways to talk about it. So I need to prep a little bit for that one. So it should be good. All in. Yeah, man. It's a great ecosystem. Will you be live when V3 goes live? Ooh. I think a lot of people will be live when V3 goes live. I'll probably be on my show or somebody else's show, or like at the moment it goes live, I'm not sure, but I think I'll be scrambling to get in the PulseChain chat room, trying to probably get help with some of the validator stuff too. So we will see. Is it crazy not answers not closer? No, you don't. It's not crazy at all, man. Everybody has their stuff. I like both of them, but it's not. I think the more positive price feedback loops for the blue chips, the better. Not crazy. Everybody. I think I just try to target products in the RH ecosystem. And just stuff that I think is good for Hex, good for PulseChain. But now everybody likes the thing. All good. What's up, Kevin? FUD on RH is just a bit. Yeah. If you watched, I just tweeted about it. Crypto Coffee broke down the OA. That's a great video. I watched it today. 20 minutes of breaking down there's like 6 OA arguments. Just ridiculous. He just demolished them. It was great. So, Hedron blue chip. No, so when I say blue chips, I'm talking about Hex, PulseChain, PulseX. So blue chips to me are the RH products and whatever else he creates. So when I say pump the blue chips or have something positive or provide utility for the blue chips, that's what I mean. Good question. But Hedron's great. I like Hedron a lot. All right, everyone. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to head off. And hit me up on Twitter if you have some other questions or stuff you want me to talk about, suggestions. I'm not saying I'll take them all, but let's see. I was supposed to do a stream with SJ on Scivive today, but she had to cancel. So we'll try to set that back up in the next week or two. Should be really good. Got some Scivive news coming. Should be great. And what else? I'll be on Benito Crypto's channel tomorrow as a guest. He'll be interviewing me. So check that out if you want. I'm sure I'll tweet about it closer to the time. With that being said, appreciate everyone for showing up. Scivive and 5555, everyone.